Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint has been a game that has been out for a bit now, so I think we can take away any sort of the excuses that it's been trying to throw our way, and it's time to review this thing for the honesty that it deserves. So I'm gonna not just start ripping into this game. I'm gonna give an unbiased opinion on Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint as someone who has played Ghost Recon Wildlands, which was the first one of the series. So I'm gonna be reviewing it in that mindset. If you're a person who's only played Wildlands and not this game, I highly recommend you watch this review. If you've been a person who's bought both of the games, then maybe leave your comments down below if you can give an opinion. If you've only played Breakpoint, maybe it's a good time to go and get Wildlands, as it'll be cheap right now. Go and play that game and see what you think for yourselves. But this is my opinion on Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So before I delve in, I am going to show you, I have the genuine reasoning to be giving this review. So I have 100% story completion. Total time playing solo is 74 hours and time co-op has been 21 hours. So that's over 100 hours of content I've gotten. When I load out of my game and load back in again, it says I've had this game for over 100 hours. This is my longest shooting range kill on PvE. Don't know why that is important. I just thought I'd show it you. So yeah, the hours of playing are a bit weird, but I have 100% completed the story. I've got like a lot of the gear sort of stuff done, all of this sort of stuff, and all the survival stats and all that rubbish. But I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran is what I'm trying to say, guys. I've played this game for long enough. It's time to give a goddamn review on it. So the first thing I'm going to start off dead basic is your character. So what's different about Wildlands Breakpoint, the character in Wildlands to the character in Breakpoint, is there's a few different things. So the facial hair changing, you can change this throughout. You pick this right at the beginning of the game, but it does allow you to actually change this as you continue to play through the game. You can choose to alter this however you like. You can have different versions of this, etc. So it does let you actually have a bit of a change up from character as you're progressing through the storyline. You don't have to stay as the first person you pick. However, you do in a way. You can't change their face, you can only change their hair, can't change any of the colouring, so whatever colouring you pick is what you have. So my guy's a bit brown, but he's a bit light on top, which I would have maybe gone for a darker colour if I would have known this beforehand, but you can't change that. You can only change the style of the facial hair and the hair. You can change the scar details, face paint and tattoos, but you can't change the actual character's face at all without deleting your entire character and starting afresh, and you can't change the colour of anything like their eyes or the hair colour without doing afresh. Second of all is your gear. This is the most confusing thing in the world, and this little thing down in the corner is really important because this is called skin override, as you can see here, and currently mine's got a tick on it. Now if I was to untick this, it shows the gear that my character is wearing over here on the loadout screen. So he's got his Stetson and his gloves and his vest and his pants and his boots and stuff like that. So that's what that does. Now if I click on my skin override again, that's just right on the D-pad. If I do that, boom, my pre-saved outfit appears. So why is this? I'll get into that because it's a bit confusing. But you can change your outfit throughout the course of the game, and you can actually save them over here with these visual changes. You've got, like, I've got an outfit 1, which is like a scuba diver. Outfit 2, which is like based off Call of Duty. 3 is, I think, my Nomad. Oh no, Sniper. 4 is Nomad. And 5 is a different Call of Duty. So yeah, you can change your outfits up and you can have different clothes. And the way you do that is you can pick your hats here, and you can put whatever hat you find throughout the game or you've unlocked throughout the game. Some of them you have to buy with Ghost Coin. We'll explain that in a later bit of the video. You can have vests, and also you can take all your hats and your vests off, and you can actually move around minimalistically, which is quite nice because you couldn't do that in the first one. So that's a change, that's positive. So yeah, as you can see, change all your gear and all that stuff. But the main and the other accessories like this, and you can take your backpack off and things like that, and change your backpack. It doesn't, and all the visual stuff that I'm showing you here doesn't actually change any stats on your character whatsoever. So you can make them wear nothing, you can make them wear everything. It doesn't mean you're going to be better or worse for it. Also, you have these figures, which I think is just a con, really. It's a bit of a con for you to keep playing the game. So you have the 4 original baddies, as you would call them, but I wouldn't necessarily call them major baddies. They're just people you kill throughout the campaign, and they're very, very forgettable. They're not very good antagonists at all. and we'll talk about the campaign again as we progress. But the main three that I found is this dude, this woman, this guy, and Nomad were the 4 figures that we saw advertised in the entire game. So you would naturally assume you could pick to play as one of these people as a template for your character, and you could customize them. That is incorrect. You have 2 currencies in the game. You have Ghost Coin, which you have to buy with real money. No way of earning that without spending real hard-earned money. You have Scale Credit, which is what you earn whilst playing throughout the game. That's if you succeed in a mission, you might get some Scale Credits. If you get an extra XP level, you might get some Scale Credits. You might find some Scale Credits. You might sell a gun, clothes, etc. That's the in-game currency you earn, and you earn that at a lot slower rate. I had to buy every single one of these characters. Fix-It, Fury, and I can never say this guy's name, Vasil. You have to buy these people with the in-game currency, and they're like 50 grand each. And that is a long time of gameplay before you get 50 grand worth of Scale Credits. But you don't only have to get 50 grand of Scale Credits, you have to get 50 grand times 3 for all these guys. So it's a bit of a con, really. They advertise these amazing characters that look interesting and mixed up and detailed, and you actually have to spend in-game money on them. And for the 4 forgettable bosses, you actually have to pay using this ghost credit sort of thing, ghost coins that you have to buy with real life money. So not only have you bought a £50, £60, £90 game, version of the game, whichever one you bought, but then you have to spend real life money again on top of your £90 game to get these additional bonuses. Now, not just speaking as somebody who's bought the £90 version of the game, but I think all of these should have just come with the game anyway, whether you bought or the £90 one. They don't change your game whatsoever, they're just visual reskin. I think it's stupid that you have to spend real life money on these unforgettable people. And like, fair enough, if you had the 4 main ones and you were going to be a douche and make them like purchased by real life money, fair enough. But the 4 absolute blank slates of enemies who you fight throughout the course of the game that aren't interesting whatsoever, and you forget about until you get to their mission, kill them and move on, it's like, it's a waste. I don't understand the marketing idea behind that. It was very stupid. And they don't even have Walker, and he's the main antagonist. You can't even buy him and play as him. So I think that's a bit stupid. And it's just uneven because there's missing one here. So why wouldn't you have Walker, for example? Still stupid. But the Nomad one is where I get the most annoyed. Because with Nomad, they know Nomad, for a Ghost Recon fan, he is like the Captain Price of the Call of Duty world. He is like, he's like Rambo in the Rambo movies. He's like Rocky in the boxing movies. He is the main character of these franchises, and he is the one everybody wants to play as on day 1. But you have to get to, as it says next to him, tier 49 on the battle rewards. Now these are stupid. So yeah, you have all these upgradable points, you have all these skills, you have all this skill tree and everything that you can unlock with these points, and it takes you a lifetime to do it, and I did it. I finished them all, and then you level up the classes down at the bottom, and I've done that. I've leveled up all of these. A new one is coming soon to progress you, keep playing the game more. But they just seem tedious and don't really change the game that much for me, as on my opinion. The store is a nuisance. So you can travel and you can complete this game 100% without paying for a dime other than the actual game. You can complete it all. Or you can spend real life money to just, I don't want to find every gun in the game, I'll just buy them. I'll just buy every single one of the guns in the game. There we go, I bought them all. And this is when problems start occurring. Because this is when sort of pay to win sort of mentality kicks in, and this is them just being greedy. So you could travel around the entire game and try and find all the attachments yourselves, or you could just buy them all. So it's either work hard for your stuff, or just buy them. Just buy them with real life money. Just skip the point of the game. See all these cool outfits and gear pieces you probably want. You're never going to earn enough points in game for them. Just buy them. Just buy them. And it's pretty stupid. I even caved in and I bought this one. I bought this ghillie suit because I want to be a ghillie suited sniper, so I bought that ghillie suit, and that's what I bought. It was like 480 coins or something for that ghillie suit jacket, because the next ghillie suit jacket I could unlock for my sniper character was with these stupid battle reward missions, which we'll get into because there's a rant due for them. So let's talk about this page. So here is a catalogue of all the attachments you can find. You have to go around various parts of the game and find them, hidden in chests, loot boxes to try and find them, weapons, but all this is irrelevant because you can just buy all of these with real life money. So you don't even have to focus on these, you can just buy them. Investigations, another boring thing that just is cheap and doesn't really set up a story. It's just a bunch of little Easter eggs and lore that's like empty, not really interesting. Collection's exactly the same thing, and this woman is just irrelevant. I'm sorry, but she is. She's the woman who runs the weapon shop, and they've given her more context than bloody Nomad or any of the original Ghosts. So I don't understand that. That's just stupid. Moving on to the PvP, it's the same old PvP from last time, but slightly worse, because there's not a very good team element to it. Everyone's very individual, hardly anyone revives, the community sucks. PvP on this game sucks. Unless you're playing it with a valid friend who will revive you and you will revive them, it's irrelevant. Do not play it. It's a waste of your time. The raid, there's one raid mission that you can currently do. It's not even worth attempting. You don't get that many good rewards from it. It's also a huge waste of time. Don't do it. It's just irrelevant. Moving on, we have the campaign. This is the main point of the game. Now, spoiler alert, but Wildlands had a campaign that wasn't very good. You went from A to B, killing all these different types of drug lords, pretty much, because it's set in a drug-dealing Bolivia, and you have to go around as a special forces group and kill all these drug dealers, leading up to the main bad guy, and the conclusion, without spoiling too much, wasn't very epic. The only benefit I have for this campaign is that I fell asleep all the way through it until the last mission, where it was slightly interesting because I got to kill the big bad guy. That was it. Everything else involving this campaign, hunting down Rosebud and Silverback and Flycatcher and all these menacing villains, was literally like doing my homework. I'm currently studying at university, and I have felt like I've had less homework and less mental fatigue doing my university course in bloody drama and creative writing than I have playing this bloody game. This £90 game has been more of a homework, and me and my girlfriend have literally nicknamed it the homework game. So I come in, and before I can play Call of Duty or Red Dead Redemption 2 or a game I genuinely want to play, I sit down and I do my video game homework, which is this. Because I finished the story, eventually, killed Walker, whoop-de-doo, I got his pistol and his gun. Like, I got, his pistol and an assault rifle from him. And other than that, it was just dreadful. But he killed him, and then he came back to life in the cuts. Thank you, Helen. My great assistant, Helen, has just wrote a lovely message there to help me remember this. So in my playthrough of the mission, and we notice this actually a lot in the cutscenes. So when you go and fight a big bad boss, you tend to shoot them and kill them, as the mission tells you to do. So you shoot and kill them, and then they come, and I did this. I shot him. I shot Walker in specifics. I shot Walker. He died. I then went over, shot him a bunch of more times because I was that fed up with the game. I then screenshotted and game clipped me doing this. And then a fraction later, he came back in the cutscene alive and talked his final last words. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but normally when you shoot people, they often die, and they don't normally come back and do a monologue after you've shot them in the head. Now, fair enough, if the mission was fight Walker, and from the minute I destroyed his drones and I killed his men and I shot him, a good few times, and then it went into a bit of a cutscene scrap where he bleeds out and dies in my arms, that's a bit different. Kind of like how Red Dead Redemption 2 didn't show you a dead Arthur on the floor and then Arthur came back and did a monologue. Or they just die. You just shoot your bosses and they die. They don't die and then come back to life and do a monologue and then die again. So that was just a bit much. But as you can tell, this game was a huge waste of £92.
Thanks.
But it wasn't. It wasn't, because we're beating it up a lot right now. But there are benefits to this game. There are. So this new system, I did like. The gear level system and the sense of competitiveness with your friends was really interesting. So the more you progress through the game, and you kill the harder enemies, and you go through new missions, you get different guns. Or different variations, should I say, of these guns. You start off with, I think, whites, and then, or silvers, and then blues, greens, blues, purples, and gold. And that's how you kind of progress. and they have different numbers which then equate with all the others. So like your gear will all be different numbers. So how this rifle's 250, that one's 252, the hat's 252, all my gear down the side is 252, and it's like it progresses you up and it makes you fight harder level bosses and get better rewards and things like that. So that was new compared to Wildlands, and I did like that. That was really nice. It was a good sense of competitiveness and a good sense of enjoyment of trying to be like, oh, what have you got, friend? Oh, you got 100 nods gear score, I got 200 gear score, and it was fun to have that rivalry, and it was quite entertaining and interesting. And the way you can change your rank, not your rank, sorry, your class, from being either a field medic, a panther, a sniper, an assault, all that was really interesting, and I do find like that is a good idea. However, I do feel like it should be possible once you've unlocked them all to change them on the move instead of having to go back to your camp or your bivouac. I didn't even know what a bivouac was, but I want to bivouac the developers of this game in the head because they didn't think this stuff through before releasing it. And the idea of having the perks that you can apply are pretty good as well. At least you can change them on the move, and you can change your guns on the move. It's just this you can't change on the move, which doesn't make sense. The idea of you've got to have a loaded backpack of these different things. I don't know how you can carry an RPG in your backpack, but we won't even go on that part. That's just irrelevant. That's just a little giggle. I mean, sometimes my outfits don't even... Like, look at that backpack. That's my backpack right now. Look how small that bag is. Fair enough, the guns, I get. You clip them onto the side, but an RPG is sat in that bag right now. And I don't know how. But Harry Potter, innit? Mary Poppins, I should say. So yeah, we've talked about them, we've talked about the clothing, we've talked about your gear score, we've talked about the horrendous shop. The shop is stupid. I've paid £92 for this game and I've got to pay more money. The map itself is actually a bonus. This is where I'm going to start being a little bit kinder to the game. The map itself is a lot better than Bolivia. Bolivia was just desert and a slight bit of jungle. So, okay, and fair enough, a little bit of mountains. But mainly, the map ideas are good, and the way they've got these hidden islands hidden in the mist around the edges as cheeky DLC content. I know your plan. I mean, don't be lazy. Just don't show me a bit of island sticking through a cloud and leave me to go, oh, it's going to be DLC. Of course it's going to be DLC. Your game's meant to make more money the more it's out. So of course you're going to make more DLC. Just put it on a new map, mate. Just set it to a different map. That's irrelevant. But the islands themselves are really interesting and good. They're all laid out a bit differently. I've had a fair share of a bit of exploration. This side not so much because it's a bit dark. But, oh my god, but it's not good as you have to walk throughout. Okay, thank you, Helen. Helen gave me another thing, so that is true. For example, because I've finished all the missions, we've got, no, alright, so this is what I mean. So the maps are quite good, and the way that, some of the game elements I'm going to show you in a minute are very good. But, once you've completed the story mission, which, granted, I was very lackadaisical about the whole thing, and I did it really slowly. I could have ploughed through that, considering I completed Red Dead Redemption 2 in a week. So, I could have definitely smashed this in about a week, if that. Probably less. When you're finished, what amazing content do you have, Tom? I'll tell you. You got the bloody side missions, which are just all irrelevant nonsense that you're just going to be bored by. And what do you get for a reward? You get a tattoo. Ooh, isn't that lovely? A tattoo. What's next? Nothing, just XP and scale credits, which I don't need. What's that? Nothing, just scale credits and XP, which I don't need. Oh, what's that? An Explorer emblem. Great. Whoop-de-doo, I feel so rewarded. Now, fair enough, I don't... Oh, look, at least that one, you get a knife. So you can stab your eyes out, so you don't have to watch this game anymore. I'm sorry, that was a bit far. But... You know what I mean, guys. It is pretty much just like, here's an emblem, here's a knife, here's a tattoo, here's some face paint. That's your reward for doing your mission. Pretty much nothing. Nothing, really. You might as well have had a Happy Meal and got one of those plastic toys from the Happy Meal. But we'll move on. What else do you have, Tom? Well, you've got the dreadful PvP we've already discussed, so don't do that. Or you will want to drink bleach. Battle rewards is then your next possible outlet. Why? Because you're a completionist freak like me. So if we go to the battle rewards are these stupid things, right, where you've got level 1 all the way to level 49, and the first thing you unlock is a pair of yellow sunglasses, right? Then if we jump along, you can unlock a knife eventually, as well as a bunch of other visual things that don't improve the game whatsoever. More face paint again. Oh, at least you unlock a different type of gun. That's nice, isn't it? And a car with a gun on the roof, which you can already pay for. This pistol, it's pretty cool. This Lamborghini, which you can already pay for, which they give you a real Lamborghini. A backpack, That's always nice. A gun again. This bloody ghillie jacket, which is the reason I paid £6 to get the other ghillie jacket, because I wasn't going to wait this long. But now I'm nearly there. I'm a 39 at the minute on the rewards, and I'm nearly at level 40. Jesus. I have to come on every day, and you've got the option. I'll cheat you. So the reason I'm doing this is because I want that skin, Nomad, who they knew everyone would want if you were a fan of Ghost Recon, and they put him right at the bloody end of this stupid, tedious task that you have to come on every day and do it, because you can't level up more than 600 progression. 600 progression. And I've got 28 days left, guys. And I've got to go up 9 levels in 28 days. Will I do it, or will I just decide to headbutt a toaster? I don't know. And the joyful thing is it's only Act 1, guys. We've got more acts to come yet. What else could they entice us with? A box of cornflakes? I don't know what's going to be rewarded next, but if it's not more exciting than that, I don't know what will be. So I come on every day to do that, and this is how, guys, this is how you do it. So every day you get an elite mission from one of you guys, and you get an elite mission from one of the girls. So you got this cool woman who gives you this elite mission, and you have this other guy, and he gives you this mission. And you do both of them, and you'll get a good chunk of XP. And the way I've figured out how you level up on the battle rewards so damn quickly is you put your difficulty to easy, because the XP reward doesn't change depending on the difficulty you put it to. You might think, if I put it to hard and graft these missions, I'll get it done in a day. You won't, because it doesn't matter whether you're doing it on veteran or super hard difficulty, or your mate's doing it on literally tissue difficulty. You will still get the same XP for the mission, but he'll finish his mission 10 seconds bloody before you even press start on yours, because his is like you shoot the enemy once they're dead. So pretty much you have to do all these missions, and you can only do so many of them a day, because otherwise once you get to 600 you can't progress more than that. And you think that's easy, Tom, because this XP here says 700 XP. You're wrong, because that mission doesn't mean 700 XP in the progression. I don't know where they're getting their maths from. It sounds like they're copying my GCSE papers. It literally is wrong. It's incorrect. It doesn't make sense. So I'm going to show you this. I'm going to do one of these extra missions. I've already done my homework for today, guys, so don't bully me. I'm going to do an extra mission today. And we're going to do... Where will there be a... Alright, we'll steal this truck, for example. So let's go steal this truck. So if I go and steal this truck, it's 900 and odd meters away. Now, if you had no vehicle or no bivouac in this area, you would have to walk 900 meters. Walk. You pay £92 to play a game where you have to walk that distance until you either A, find and steal a car, or B, locate a bivouac in your area, which can take up to an hour if you don't know the map very well. Which you won't do, because it'll be your first time playing the game. But we'll move on. I found a bivouac, luckily, because I'm a nerd. So as you can see, one thing we're going to start actually appreciating the game for here is my character currently is in pain. He's coughing. He has sadness on his face, like me, currently filming this video. And if you notice in the bottom left corner of the screen, it does say he is injured and he needs healing. This is a cool thing, because this was never in Wildlands. You could never do this. You just sponged bullets, hid behind a wall for 5 seconds, got a breather, and you were back up and running again. So you have to make sure you've got these bandages or one of these morphine injectors. So if we get the bandages and hold LB, your guy will begin to bandage himself, which is fairly cool, fairly interactive, something a bit different that we've not seen before in other games. The bandage goes around your leg, and it actually does stay there, which is pretty cool. You know, roughly. It'll despawn in a bit, but for now, it's pretty good. And as you can see, if we lie down in this snow, for example, and an enemy plane was coming overhead, which they sometimes do, you can press A and active camo. You can do that, you bury yourself in the ground that you're in, whether it be snow, whether it be in grass, or sand, or mud, or whatever. You get the point. You can then press both your analog sticks in, and you can go for this drone camera shot of you, which is pretty damn cool. You can get some cool pictures. Other than that, so if you don't want to have an A-level, a degree, or GCSE in photography, don't buy this game. I'm joking. Then you can get out of it, and then, yeah, there you go. And your gear, and your clothes, and your guns are all covered in snow. And no, it doesn't infect their performance. That would be too realistic, guys. It just visually covers your guns in snow, and your clothes in snow, until you thaw out and melt. So then you set up this bivouac, which is the main things you're going to want to be setting up all over the map, or otherwise you're going to take a year to complete this game. I'll show you the full animation of him setting up his little tent. He manages to do this a lot quicker than I did on my DV course. Sets up that little tent for himself. It's a very small tent, and he's a very big man, so I don't know how he's going to fit, but we don't ever actually see him fit in the tent, so that's fine. You can also see the vest and shirt that I'm currently wearing. My shirt is actually, its collars are actually glitching through my vest visual right now. That's the problem. I paid £90 for a glitchy t-shirt. But we'll move on. If you've got extra gear, you can go to the shop in your bivouac. Don't know why there's a shop in your bivouac, don't ask me questions. But there's a shop in your bivouac where you can sell your gear, or you can choose to dismantle it for gear parts. I recommend just selling them, because you're going to find more gear, and crafting weapons apparently is just a waste of time. So you can sell this. Sometimes you get this glitch happen, where I just sold a pistol and a replica comes and I can't sell it. That's a bit annoying, but don't worry about it, because when we change the page and come back, it's gone. So that's a fun glitch. You can sell your clothes as well, because nothing screams military simulator to me than getting a good sale on it next and selling your apparel. Sold my apparel now. Got an extra couple £100. Can save that for what items? Well, let's have a think. Let's go and have a look at the shop. Guns, all too low for my level. Won't be needing to purchase them. Armour, all too low for my level. Won't need to be purchasing them. Blueprints, 250. Mate, I'm already covered. Don't need any of them. Vehicles, well, I've already bought 2 helicopters. I'm not going to buy a third. You know, all these vehicles that you can buy for some other reason. Why you'd want to buy all these, but you can do if you want. Mainly, you buy these. You buy your own gear. And you can, I know, I'm going to get someone in the comments down below go, actually, you can craft gear. But not all of it, mate. Not all of the gear. You can't craft everything. Some things you can't craft. Some things you have to buy. So, there you go, little Timmy. You can shut up before you start commenting rubbish down below. Know that. No, I'm going to upload the video and some kid's going to, you can craft them, actually. Probably won't be a kid. It'll probably be a full-grown adult. Right, you can craft them. I've seen it. Plant fibres. It's like, no, because when you do, right, look, if you do craft some, you can buy attachments as well. When you can find them in the game, so why would you buy them? Clothes, I can buy these little round glasses. That's going to help me win some fights. Some more badges. Can win more badges. I love badges. Buy all the badges. Some knives, again, to take your vision away. More titles and emblems and gifts and back to the shit again. So now if we go to the crafting idea, because you're a cheapskate, you don't want to buy your gear. Oh look, I'm going to craft my medical pen. What do I need to craft this plastic medical pen? Oh, I know. A pine. There we go, there's a pine. Whatever a pine is, it looks like a stick. And a purple bush. And that creates my syringe. Isn't that realistic? What do I need for a frag grenade? I'll tell you what. Old shells. Don't know what that means. And this little plastic device. And look at that. I've made a hand grenade. Don't show this in other places. You're going to get people in trouble teaching people how to craft hand grenades. All I need is some rusty metal and some plastic computer chips. And I can make a bomb. Oh, well, no, clearly I don't have enough resources for this one. When it shows I have resources here. Don't know what that means either. My girlfriend had picked up on that.
What?
The fact that you can craft resources, it tells you can craft stuff, but then it tells you can't because you haven't got the resources. But the resources don't read out for some reason.
Yeah.
Just the microtransaction sort of things of this game, the little micro things that they could have easily fixed, but they didn't because they couldn't be bothered. Tactics. What's important about tactics? I'll tell you what's important. You got to keep all these up to date. You'll understand that problem as and when. If you unlock the field medic and you set all this up, and you add a panther and you add your class set up differently, every time you get a new gun for whatever class you're running, you have to come back to the tent and change all of these so they match exactly the same. Otherwise, you won't be able to dismantle or sell any gear on the other accounts. That won't mean anything to you until you've played the game. That's when you'll understand it, and God help you. God help you, because it's horrible. These are relevant as well. Preparation. So you can eat. That somehow increases your injury. I mean, resistance to injury. So if you have a good bowl of soup, you can fall off a cliff neck first, and you might not die. Great to know. Water. What does that do, I tell you? Fatigue resistance. If you're ever bored in a lecture, have a swig of J2O, you'll be fine. Tech review increases drone's range. Why? When I've got a perk that does that already. Doesn't make sense. Stretching gives you increased stamina. So if you do a bit of yoga posing, you can run a 10k marathon. No worries.
I said that.
You'll be fine. Gun. Well, this is the best one. Weapon review. So if you review your weapon, you get better accuracy. Whatever. And resources, which is the only one worth your time. 60 minutes of extra XP gain, which doesn't really help you in the slightest. But as you could tell, we're here at the bivouac to use one of the helicopters that I bought with me in-game currency. And you can also change the time whilst being in your bivouac. So say if I want to do it in the morning, I'm going to look at that nice weather. Oh, look at that nice day and night cycle. Beautiful. A little bit of lightning there. That was nice. Graphics are beautiful. That is one thing I do have to say. The graphics are fairly good, I must say. The graphics themselves, I can't even get over this rock right now, guys. So it's A. It's A to climb things, guys. See this rock in front of me here? See this rock here in front of me? If I spam A, I can't climb that. If I push forward on my stick, I can't walk up it either. But if I walk to the side and press A, oh, you can climb up that, no problem. You know, the slightly higher rock, you can climb up that. But the other one, not a chance. You're stuck, mate. You're absolutely buggered. You can't get over that rock. It's a tiny ledge. What are you thinking? Think you're King Kong and just climb up shit? No. Not at all. Fly me helicopter. By the way, it's got no radio. So, hope you like the sounds of silence whilst you're travelling to your destination. No hype amazing music. Led Zeppelin on the radio. None of that. You just got to fly there yourself in silence. The noise of the wind through the helicopter's propellers. That's it. Look at this. I'm not kidding. Tell you what, there's no radio. Wildlands, there was a radio. I'll tell you. But look at the view. Isn't it worth it for the view? A lack of radio for this snowy mountain. It's beautiful, isn't it, guys? Delightful. See those smoke trails? It doesn't tell you this once in the game, but all those smoke trails, the one just in front of me there, they've just moved to the right of, and all these other ones as I'm spinning round, all these smoke trails that are coming up from the mountains, they're all bivouac locations. I never knew that. So I had to run around this map like a madman trying to find a camp. If someone had told me that from day one, I might have been a bit more okay. But the absolute worst thing about this game is the fact that you don't have a squad. Now in Ghost Recon Wildlands, whether you were Mr. Billy No Mates or whether you were Simon the most popular kid in the universe, you used to have an NPC controlled, computer controlled squad that would come round with you and assist you in gunfights and flying and driving and shooting to give you a bit of more sense of togetherness. There is none of that in this game whatsoever. It's rubbish. And that's why you should get new 9X Arctic wireless headphones. That's not a brand deal. I was supposed to play music.
You said it had no music.
Helen's just reminded me there's a new brand of wireless headphones that you can link to your Xbox as well as your phone at the same time, so you can actually play music through one ear and the gameplay through the other ear. So then you won't be bored. So if you're bored with your £92 game, buy £178 headphones to make the game even better. Or just get your phone and play music with one headphone on. But this is that maximum altitude, by the way, guys, as well. 2,065 meters is the maximum height you can go. And once you get this high, you actually can't move anywhere. Like, I can't move that. I've glitched the game out, guys. This is a perfect example. I've glitched the game. I can go lower, but once you hold RT, and apparently you can't go any higher than this. 2,065 meters is the top of the world. You can't even turn or anything. So I can hold X and get out. Wonder if the helicopter will stay up there or if it'll fall. Has it stayed up there? Has it fallen? I cannot confirm nor deny that. But I won't be surprised if it's still up there on its own. So that's another unrealistic thing. But the squad thing I genuinely am annoyed at. Like, even if you had the choice to turn them on and off, I would understand. But you don't. You just don't. If you're on your own in this game, you're on your own. And it's horrible. One, because it's stupidly unrealistic. No special forces soldiers ever operate on their own. Ever. That is only hitmen, or hit women, sorry, it's 2019, and vigilantes probably, would probably travel around on their own. But not soldiers. If you're a special forces soldier, you're not going to travel around on your own, are you? You're just going to get yourself in trouble. So that's irrelevant. And that's just stupid. Apparently, I'm too far from my target, so I've got to get back to it. My target is inside that building. So what's it talking about? I don't know. The enemy in this game also are ridiculously stupid. They said that the AI was going to be very advanced and very switched on. However, it's not. It's not switched on at all. If you put it on hardest difficulty, they shoot you twice with a gun and you die. But still, one shot to the head and they're dead. So, that's great. If you put them to like super easy mode, you can literally sponge bullets like you are Wolverine until nothing. Until you just kill them and you can be bothered. So this shotgun guy is just blasting me at point blank range. Because I put it on easy mode to show you guys. I'm not even dying. But if this was on hard, I'd get 2 hits from him and I'd be dead. Be completely dead. So here's my truck. I've killed these guys now. There's the truck that I need. Somehow it's already smoking. I don't know how it's managed to do that. So I'm in my truck. For some reason it's on fire. Not even touched the damn thing and it's already nearly blown up. Watch out, vehicle is almost destroyed. When we've not even come near this vehicle yet, guys. So this is 90% of the missions. You arrive and it's like, save person from checkpoint. Person is dead. It's like, I'm not even arrived yet and they've already killed them. So why are you sending me to go and save someone who's already had their head taken off? Why are you taking me to go and get a truck that has already been blown up? It's like, this truck is nearly dead. Like, if this takes 2 or 3 more massive hits, like, that rock could have killed this mission. That rock then could have blown up this truck and failed the mission. And I'd not even touched this truck yet. So, I don't get that. It's mad. The main positives I can take away from this game is the map is a lot better because it's a lot more varied and different. But other than that, not much else. There's animals in the game. They said you could kill and hunt and eat. You cannot do that. So if you think, oh, I can sharpen my Red Dead hunting skills off. Nope. That's not going to happen, pal. You don't even need to eat in this game. They said we're going to focus more on survival elements so it feels more real. Feels like you're surviving as a soldier. But you're not really, because, let's be fair, you don't need to sleep, eat, or drink any water bar the choices that you can, if you want to. And it's only on that preparations page. It's not like you can go and kill an animal, make yourself a campfire, cook it, and then have a drink of water at the same time. It's nothing like that. It is ridiculous. If you've not got that type of stuff in your game, just tell your community what you have got. Don't lie. Because when it's not in your game, people are going to get miffed. This door, for example, no reason why this door shouldn't be open. This is a civilian's house. The windows are closed. This door is a wooden door. I'm running against it. It won't open. But my gun glitches through it. Fair enough. And if I shoot with my barrel facing glitch through the door, if I shoot, a hole appears. I don't know how that works. Or God knows what. But the main positives I can take away from this game, if any, is the fact that the gunplay is massively improved since the last one. The gunplay is a lot better. The customizing of your character is slightly better, but it's still wrong because in the other one you could change your face of your character. You could change your gender in your other character on the other game, but without losing your progress. If I wanted to somehow wake up one morning and say to myself, do you know what? I wonder what it's like playing as a woman in this game. I want to take my current highest level character. I want to make him a woman and play as him as a woman and change it so I can see what the women's clothing options are like, to see what women fighting styles are like. I can't do that. I have to delete. I have to go back to the beginning of the game and work all over again just to be that character type. That should definitely be a thing that you could just switch on command. If the other game let you do it, this game should do everything that the last game did and much, much more. And the sad overall point is that it doesn't. It sets up a lot of stuff it's planning to do in the future, but how can you trust it after it's told you it's going to do all this stuff on the release, and yet it didn't? And I was a backer for this game. I was the person who used to try and say to people, the game developers have told us it's going to be in the game, so it should be in the game. And I believed them. And it's made me very critical about choosing games based off the developers. I was always one for, if the developers seem like they're genuine. Tom Clancy, I'd always had a good experience with Tom Clancy games, other than Recon. I mean, Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six Siege was super annoying. I couldn't get into that game, but I still had a laugh sometimes with my friends. I had a few laughs a few times, but when I tried to play it for seriousness, I couldn't do it. But this game should literally, the company and the franchise never did me wrong, in a sense, until this one. And I'm really disappointed. For what I thought, watching the gameplay trailer for this, ironically, I thought when I saw the gameplay trailer for this, and the first ever trailer they released, I ironically thought it was a DLC for Wildlands. Me and my girlfriend had come back off holiday. We'd played Ghost Recon Wildlands a hell of a lot as our first ever game of me getting my girlfriend into gaming. It was the first game we properly played together. We played that game together a lot, and we progressed through it all, and we started doing the DLC missions and stuff. And the last thing that came out for the Ghost Recon Wildland game was the John Barenthorn reveal of John Barenthorn is in the game, and he's playing as this guy called Cole Walker, and you and him go on this mission, and he shows a bit of like PTSD craziness, and then he gets gone, and it sets up the trailer for this game. And I thought, genuinely, it was a DLC trailer. I thought Wildlands was going to stay as Wildlands and progress with all these big, massive DLCs. I didn't think it was going to be a Breakpoint, Ghost Recon 2. I thought it was just going to be a DLC. And honest to God, for what I've been given, it feels like a DLC. It feels like if I had paid for Wildlands, the £60 or £70 Wildlands I paid for, if I would have spent a £20, £30 season pass price on it, I could have had this as a second sort of big DLC for that game. It doesn't feel like it's its own individual game. Whereas recently, I've been playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and I've not played Call of Duty for a few years, and I came onto that game and it felt like a whole new experience. It gave me nostalgia and it gave me excitement. Prior to that, I played Red Dead Redemption 1. Red Dead Redemption 1 was one of the biggest games I'd ever played. It was my first big open world sandbox game where I played through the story in my own time, and I got to terms with the characters and the map and the way that it worked, and I felt really excited when Red Dead 2 came out, and I played Red Dead 2, and I felt like Rockstar don't really tell us, as a game company, they don't really tell us what they've got in store until you're there playing the game, and I feel that works a lot better. I just feel like we were promised a lot more than what we were given, and considering I paid £92, that is my own mistake, and I have to deal with that, and I hope in the few months' time I can do another one of these big lengthy videos and sit down and actually go, do you know what, they did screw us at the beginning, and they've come back and they've given us a better refreshed, updated version of this game, and this is how Breakpoint should have been from day one, but it's not. We have to move on with that, and DLC 1 was amazing, and DLC 2 is amazing, and things like that. So I hope I'm sat here in 2020 and they don't do a Ghost Recon 3, because you're running out of ideas, mate. Because it doesn't feel too different. The fact that you can kill the main boss at the end is good, the map is good, the gunplay is good, and a few of the new elements they've added in, like with the active camo and the stealth takedowns and the melee and the combat, all very good and all very, very well executed. No pun intended. However, the overall content that you get with the game, it just looks like a newer, updated, better graphics version of Wildlands, and I don't think it's worth a whole separate title and price of its own. But that's just my opinion. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Raw footage, it currently sits at 43 minutes, so I'm going to have to edit the hell out of this, and it's going to be hard to not cut out any of the big points that I made.
I'm just going to cut out this bit now.
But, no, I'll keep this bit in. But, thank you very much for watching. If you made it to the end, thank you very much. Subscribe, ding dong the notification bell, leave a like. Depending on when I upload this video, I hit 1k recently on YouTube. That is amazing. I got a bunch of videos planned for that, so they're coming soon. So if this one does manage to come out before either one of my 1k videos, just thanks a big thank you for all of you. You did a great job. I was amazed. I literally woke up. I've had I've had a bit of a time now to sit on it and actually acknowledge what's happened. But it was a mad thing. because that's just, I don't want to ruin your time on this. I've got that different video for that. But thanks a lot for this one, guys. Thanks a lot for the milestone. Thanks a lot for checking in on this video. If you did care about what I said, if you agree with me, comment down below. If you disagree with me, comment down below. Don't say anything racist, or your comment will be deleted. Bye!